Thursday, June 9th. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. And now, 2023 mayoral candidate running under the cocktail party, J.P. Shadrick.
I don't want any of that smoke. Welcome in. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. My name is J.P. Shadrick. We've got a busy show ahead today. Jaguars analyst Jeff Lageman is back in the United States. We will hear from Jeff coming up in just a moment. Defensive end and outside linebacker Josh Allen is actually about to leave the United States in a couple weeks for a trip. We'll hear from him in studio coming up. See what he has to say about the offseason so far. And what he thinks about this upcoming training camp in a few weeks and what his offseason will be like. We'll review the offseason program. Doug Pederson, all the assistant coaches spoke today. We've got plenty to dissect before we go around the National Football League as well. Jeff Lageman, welcome back. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be seen. Now, when's the minicamp next week?
Well, it was supposed to be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
What?
And now there's going to be about 30 players. Most of the veterans said, Doug said goodbye. Enjoy your offseason.
I was actually talking to a couple of the assistant coaches up there, guys that had played the game, and I was like, so you're jealous? And they're like, oh, every to a man, they're like, yeah, gosh, I wish it was like this when I was playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be, I don't want to say it's the kind of standard operating procedure, but more and more teams, because of the valuable usage of the OTAs, have gone to, some teams are just canceling minicamp. They feel like that they're getting everything done that they need to get done in the OTAs, and that an additional minicamp is not that beneficial to them. But I will say this, it's not like the entire team is getting off. The ones that they feel like need to get to work, the rookies and certain veteran players maybe that haven't picked up some things, they're going to stay here and work. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, and that's all right. So it's still Monday, Tuesday,
but still,
Wednesday.
It's like, wait a minute, no mini camp?
I'm sure there were a lot of rubber left on the road out there of cars rolling out of here today.
Yeah.
The veterans not coming back.
Yeah, there was.
Well,
There was a few guys
smoke
rolling out of here.
That's
but
right.
I'm a big believer in it. I think a mini camp or an OTA, is there really much of a difference? There's really not. I mean, an OTA day is the same thing as a mini camp day.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially all you're doing is shorting the number of OTA days, in reality 3 days, which is what the mini camp would have consisted of. So I'm a big fan of trying to preserve the body and not wearing it out too much, because, look, the reality is you can only do so much in no pads. There really is. There's really only so much that you like. For offensive and defensive linemen, I mean, how much benefit, as long as you've got the terminology and the system down and responsibilities down, how much benefit do you actually gain by having 3 more non-padded practices? I think sometimes it can be a little bit kind of like Groundhog Day-ish,
the movie, yes.
Yeah, because
Bill Murray, it's a classic.
And sometimes I think you can develop bad habits sometimes when you're a contact physical player and you're not having contact practices, because you're trying to make sure, I don't want to hurt anybody.
My favorite line from that movie, it's Groundhog Day again. I just love that line. I don't know why. But, yes, it can feel that way at times. Let's hear from Doug Pederson.
Yeah.
Head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars spoke today, and he's seen a lot of growth out of this football team in the offseason.
You know, it's one of the key message points, back April 11th when I started with this group, and just, we talked about the healing process, right, and trust and all this stuff. And I've seen this team grow from April 11th to today, and how they've come together, and a good group of leaders on this football team, and how they've handled things. And it's just the right time.
He said that something similar to that a lot this offseason, having to regain the trust and get players to believe in it again and believe in the staff. And, obviously you do things like this and get guys out of meetings a little bit early and everybody still gets their work done. You have to pull a little bit out of the players too. You have to see some of that come out on the practice field, from the classroom to the practice field. And he said earlier this offseason he's seen a lot of that as well. So it's a give and take, players and coaches, and it feels like a good vibe right now.
And I think the other thing that he said that was important, he talked about how this group was hardworking, and that's important. So I think the two things that we're talking about here, trust, okay, regaining the trust or just gaining trust, however you want to term it, and then hard work are two of the most critical things that there is. And is regaining the trust a result of what happened last year that was, the failure of the franchise with Urban Meyer? Maybe it is. But I think that when you have a new staff and then you start to work with players and when you show them that you can help them, that's the way that you gain trust. And you still have to continue to earn that trust, okay, as a coach. It's not something that you just do one time and then you're like, hey, look, I'm good to go. I got the trust for the entire season.
Yeah.
It's a continual process that you have to continue to give, because if something happens, and all it takes is one time, if you mess up and somehow you lose the trust, no matter of the 20 great deeds you've done, now it takes a little bit of time to build that trust back up again. And so trust is critical. Trust is everything, especially with a coach-player relationship. And the most important thing that a coach can offer a player is the ability to improve that player, to improve that player's worth, to make him a better player, and to make him more functional for a football team. So I like Doug's approach. I think Doug is very, he's in the moment with his team. And I think that's a good thing to be, because if he felt that this team wasn't ready, he's not doing this regardless of where his team is at just to regain trust.
Yeah, that's right.
He's doing this because he feels like his team is at where it needs to be, and that they deserve this, and that, this is going to help make our team better.
It's funny, we were sitting up there today talking to Bob Sutton, longtime defensive coach in the NFL, long time in college before that.
Long time in college.
Yeah, his first year as a grad assistant was 1972 at Michigan.
Yeah,
he's been in the league since 2000.
I was 5 years old, by the way, when he was a grad assistant.
I was -9 years old.
-9.
How about that? Been a while. But we were talking to him something similar like this.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many coaches that played that are on this staff. How does that help? And his answer was similar to what you just said. That only goes so far. You got to help those players become the best player they can be. And it feels like the staff's on at least at a good starting point there.
I think when you have a coach that's played the game, I think first of all it allows to have the relationship to be also kind of have shared experiences. So in other words, an experience that a coach goes through may be pertinent to an experience that a player is going through. Maybe the coach is a little bit more understanding of maybe a decision a player made or the way he played a certain play because he played the game also. And also from the standpoint of the player receiving that information, I know that when I was a player in the league and talked to coaches and learned of what that coach did as a player, I think first of all it made you respect that person initially, but then after that initial, okay, he played the game, he knows where I'm at. Now you also have to give me the information. And when I was there for a part of that conversation that you had with Bob Sutton, and I think Bob hit it right on the nail when he said that you have to continue to show them that you can help them.
Yeah.
So yes, a coach having played the game helps, but at the end of the day, if the message from a guy who didn't play the game continues to make the player better and is more beneficial to the player, that coach will be better for the player, not a coach just because he played the game. But I think that experience of coaches having played the game helps them to relate to the players in a better way, and it also allows them to know, hey, I've been there before. What did I want as a player? I wanted somebody who could help me be a better player, and so they understand what they need to be in that relationship.
Guys like Mike McCoy, Chris Jackson, Richard Angulo on the offensive side. Then on defense, Mike Caldwell, the DC, played in the league. Brinson Buckner, Deshae Townsend. We'll hear from many of those guys coming up tomorrow on the Jaguars Broadcast Weekend Review podcast. That's
cool.
Where we're going to run a lot of that audio. We did hear from Press Taylor today as well, the Jaguars offensive coordinator, on how far along they've come with the offense.
I think we got a lot done. We got a lot put in, a lot installed. We got the chance to teach really the foundation of what we want to do as an offense, and then teach a lot of technique. We're asking guys to do things a certain way. Whether they've done that, whether they haven't, we don't know. But here's how we envision it being done. Here's what we'd like. Go out, do it. Now let's talk about it. Let's coach it. So I think from that standpoint, we got a lot done. And we were able to kind of sell that vision to the guys of what we want it to look like. They were able to go out there, have success doing it, work through some things. And then we all kind of bounce ideas off one another moving forward. We'd like it done this way. A guy says, hey, I've done it this way, had success, can do it, can verbalize it, can show you video evidence, things like that. And so there's been a lot of good back and forth with the guys building this thing.
Doug Pederson will call plays on game day. Of course, he said that already in this offseason, but Press Taylor is charged with making all this work together and the different routes that Christian Kirk has to learn, and he's got to learn them all. They want to move these pieces around, and it's up to Press Taylor to make sure his offensive players can handle that.
He impresses me, Press Taylor does. And from the standpoint of, if you look at the offensive side of the ball from a coaching standpoint, there's a lot of big names. I mean, big names that could be intimidating for a young offensive coordinator. Mike McCoy, Doug Pederson, Jim Bob Cooter.
Yes.
I mean, you got all these guys that –
Bernie Parmalee's been in the league forever.
Yeah, but I mean, you got these guys who have been either a head coach at the National Football League level, or that they've been accomplished offensive play callers and offensive coordinators in the National Football League. So, and here's a young guy that is the named offensive coordinator, and I think
he's 34.
That's a tough position to be in, because you're the young guy, okay, and you have all this experience. But so I think you have to have a quiet calm of confidence to be able to handle the room, and it seems like he really does have that calm and confidence in him. And the other thing that I think is pretty unique, and if you listened, and not from today, but if you listen to what Trevor Lawrence said the other day, he was asked about all of the information that he can get from all of these coaches. He talked specifically about how when the message gets to him, it's singular, which, remember, I talked a couple weeks ago about having too many cooks in the kitchen can be a bad thing.
You know what, Logs? You're leading us right into Trevor Lawrence from earlier this week. Here's what the quarterback had to say with all those cooks in the kitchen.
It's been really smooth. I think everybody's on the same page, which is good. I think the way they built the staff is everyone has a similar – not everyone's going to think the same. Obviously, you need that diversity to be able to put you in the best position to win, but everyone's on the same page, and you can tell it's very seamless. And also, too, it's when people talk, it's not everyone trying to say their opinion. It's kind of people pick and choose, and I think they do a good job of communicating beforehand. So when we get into meetings, they kind of know exactly what they're all thinking, and they're all on the same page.
Love hearing that, obviously. One voice, singular message.
That's what you got to have.
That's it.
That's what
I
you
don't know
have.
if they would tell us otherwise right now. Oh, it's awful. But, it makes sense. When it comes out of Trevor's mouth like that, that's certainly believable, and it sounds like everybody's on the same page.
And the other thing, too, from talking to Mike McCoy today and listening to him talk to some other people and other people that were involved in the media skirmish today, and he talked extensively about, looking from afar, about the confidence that he has in his quarterback because of how he watched him and how he handled everything last year, how he kept positive and the whole situation. So Mike McCoy has a lot of respect for Trevor Lawrence, and it's good to hear Trevor Lawrence talk in the terms of, okay, we have a Jaguars language. It's good to have differences of opinion, because I think that's one way that you can actually become better as a staff, is that if you have different ideas and you have people that feel very strongly about their ideas, then you can, verbally spar and argue, and then at the end of the day, you make the best decision for the football team. And you go back to some of the great coaching staffs that have been around the National Football League. Some of them actually went to fisticuffs over making decisions. You remember the Baltimore Ravens of 2000. I mean, do you remember the stories that they had on their staff?
I bet there were. Absolutely.
They had, from what I understand, they had multiple skirmishes that involved fists. There was knuckle junction visits.
You mentioned media skirmish. I haven't seen a good media skirmish in a while. Who would you take in a media skirmish? Who are you calling out right now in the media to have a skirmish with?
Like
for me to take right now in the media, in the Jaguars media, for a skirmish. You and who?
Me versus somebody,
Yes.
or take on my side?
No. You're going against this person. Who are you calling out right now?
I don't know.
Media skirmish.
I'll take you, JP. I'll take you on.
No, you won't. No, you won't. Pick again.
That wouldn't be a fair fight.
No, I would dominate you.
You'd kill me.
Dominate. Hey, let's come back in a moment.
I'd want to take somebody on that could stand a couple rounds with me.
Baselli?
Mike DeRocco.
D-Rock can hang in there. He's got a low center of
He'd
gravity.
hang in there.
Yeah, he's
He'd be like a Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he's feisty, that guy.
Now, Baselli, I'd just kick him in the hip. He'd fall. He'd be like, he'd be like a house of, what do they call that? A house of
Cards?
No? What? And remember the three little pigs? Okay, so Baselli would have the house made of sticks. Blow it down. Kick him in the hip. He's done.
It is time for us to take a timeout. We're going to kick you off the set here in a second.
Please do.
And Josh Allen's going to jump in.
Good.
Jaguars outside linebacker, defensive end. We'll hear from him coming up. A little later, we'll get into the defense. We'll hear from Mike Caldwell, the defensive coordinator, who spoke today for the Jaguars as well. The Jags are future-focused and ready for a new look in 2022. Join us in the bank this season as Doug Pederson and Trevor Lawrence lead the charge through a fantastic home schedule. Lock in your seats at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Shopping Publix with delivery and curbside pickup powered by Instacart makes getting your groceries more convenient than ever. It's basically the best thing since sliced bread, which you can order from the Publix bakery. You can also get fresh meats and cheeses from the deli, delicious produce, and Publix premium ice cream, all without having to leave your couch or car. Orders are available in as little as 2 hours. Prices vary from in-store. Fees, tips, and taxes may apply. Subject to terms and availability. Visit Publix.com/shop. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
When we come to work in the morning, we don't think about all the money we've won against big tobacco, big pharma, or the insurance industry. That's in the past. Life faces forward, and so do we. It's been said, to live in the past is to die in the present. What really matters is what we can do for you and your family right now, right this second. So call us, Farah and Farah, here for you, here for good. Jacksonville.
Need pest control that's safe and actually works? Then look no further than Jaguar's proud partner, Kingfish Pest Control. Kingfish is family-owned and has thousands of 5-star customer reviews for good reason. Their high level of customer care and quality service is off the charts. They're the leaders in pest control technology, using the industry's latest and greatest pest application equipment and products. They'll even email a picture of the technician who'll be coming to your home. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 300s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-431-0006 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Jacksonville Sports Talk for Jacksonville sports fans. 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on 1010XL AM and Jaguars.com, plus the Jaguars social media channels, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. A busy schedule at Daly's Place coming up this Saturday. The Black Crows, her on June 12th. That's Sunday. Cheer Live June 17th. The Jacksonville Juneteenth celebration June 18th. And D-Nice Club Quarantine and then Tedeschi Trucks Band coming up in late June. Tickets and information at dailysplace.com. Josh Allen, Jaguars outside linebacker, with us now. When was the last concert you went to at Daly's Place, Josh? Close to the microphone for us.
The last concert was my rookie year.
Wow.
And we saw my very first concert. It was a Chris Brown concert. And my wife took me there. First concert ever, man. I thought it was the best thing ever. You know what I mean? I felt like the intermission music was better than, like, anything else. I was in there jamming. So, we're kind of looking forward, with the COVID for the last 2 years, as hard as it's been getting out. And now that, that's all over, kids are getting a little older, you know what I mean? I think we can start moving and doing our own little thing. And so we're going to try to experience a little bit more.
How old are the kids now, Josh?
4, 2, and 9 months. I'm saying they're getting older. They are getting older because that's – my son's getting 2 now. My oldest is good. But then the 2-year-old, he had to get over that not a baby no more phase.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of getting out of that. And now he's kind of be able to do things and talk and communicate back and forth. So it's kind of making it a little easier. And then my daughter, she's just a little princess.
Do you ever sleep?
I sleep good.
You do?
Yeah. I sleep real good. It depends. Like, initially, I go to sleep. We try to get our kids to bed as soon as possible. Our daughter goes down around like 8:30, but she'll tend to fight it sometimes. My oldest goes to sleep whenever he goes to sleep, and then my middle son, he typically goes to sleep, probably around 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, he starts to really, you can tell. You got kids you can just tell in the eyes, and you're like, yes, let's go play outside for a little bit. You know what I mean? Get them a little bit more tired. So I sleep, I try to put them to bed a little early, spend some time with my wife, let her go to sleep and then watch some film, wake up, and then start my day again.
It's a good time to do that. House is quiet. You can turn on the film and get going. Josh Allen, Jaguars outside linebacker, with us. To that point, let's talk a little ball now. Another year, another defense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how different is Mike Caldwell's scheme, and what does it do for a guy like you?
Oh, man, his scheme is just it's so different in so many different ways, if that I don't know, that was a little much.
Well, we need you to explain that, but yes.
So, the way I feel like this defense is built upon and the way he's teaching it to us, it's real professional. You know what I mean? It's real, okay, this is a call. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of stuff done, but study the film, study how we run it, know what you need to do, execute it. But he's also teaching it us in a way of, as football players, not just, we don't just get a play, write it down, we'll walk through it. As he's telling us the reason why we call this play in the situation that we would call this play. And so he's bringing us more situational awareness, and plus he played the game, so now he can speak to us in a way of, okay, like the little things, like, one of our outside backers, like if I'm drifting, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we don't need to drift because if you drift now, we got this in-breaking route right here. So when you get to your point, set right here, and now you play off of that. So just having that awareness now, especially for me, I'm year 4 now, and so I kind of can pick up on things a lot easier. So for me, I think it's real beneficial because that's where, I want to improve my game on, is just in-play skills, you know what I'm saying, or taking it to the next level. And I feel like just with him and the other coaches around, I feel like we all are taking our game to the next level, and that's what I'm really excited about.
Josh Allen with us, Jaguars outside linebacker. Rushing the quarterback is priority number 1. We get that. But you mentioned, stepping back in coverage a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I know you did some of that back in your college days. Did a little bit of that last year too, obviously, with an interception last season. But is it natural? Is it something you have to work on, your coverage skills, or is that just down the list of priorities for you?
I mean, an athlete is always going to be an athlete. I feel like even when you get a lot older and you play sports and you were a good athlete, I feel like that never leaves your body. So, like, heck, seeing Trayvon, drop in coverage and move the way he does, and he never – I don't think he rarely dropped as much as the drops that we're doing here and the transition that he's making. I feel like an athlete's always going to be an athlete. So – and I believe I'm a really good athlete, and I can do a lot of different things, and that's what I love about this defense because I can be interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? If you think you have to just prioritize me on one thing, rushing a passer, I might drop. So now that might open it up for other people, and that's where I want to get Trayvon on so he can have that similar threat. So it's like you don't know where we're coming from. We could be both dropping, rushing, you know what I'm saying? So that's where the next level comes from. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to know the play, and now you can read formations, and now you can adjust from what you want to do out those formations to mess with the disguises of, the fool with the offenses. But, for me, I feel like I'm there to a certain extent, trying to get everybody else around me involved in more of that. But we have to learn the plays, and, we have to learn it quick.
Josh Allen is with us. Trayvon Walker, first impressions of him, at least from me, it feels like he's just a straight pro. Like, he's here to work and get it done. He's not a big, flashy media type. That's not his personality, at least the first impressions I get. What is he like in the room?
He's a sponge. You know what I'm saying? He was exactly the way I was. You know what I'm saying? When I came into the league, and he wants to achieve what he wants to achieve. You know what I'm saying? He has his goals and what he wants to do this year, and he's going to do everything he can to achieve those goals and for himself and for this team. Because I told him, like, we win by our best players being great at all times. So, we drafted you here, and this is a standard that, that we set for each other. Not what the outside world or what, you're a number one pick, you got all this hype, you're supposed to be this, don't worry about that. Worry about the standard that we give each other and, what we expect from you. And worry about that, worry about yourself, and worry about just coming here and do what you need to do. But for that, man, he's gonna be a heck of a player. And I feel like, as soon as, like I said, man, this defense can be complicated. But I feel like, when we take that next step and we understand this complicated defense, we can really do some crazy things with the defense that we have never seen in a long time in Jacksonville. And that's what I'm really excited about. And that's what I'm really excited about that man, because he can do the same things that I can do. Just has longer arms. And he's about 10, 15 pounds bigger than me. You know what I'm saying?
He gets off the bus, it's like, wait, okay, now you see why.
That's Trayvon Walker.
That's right.
And he's a humble guy also. He's an old soul. He's an uncle. He just has that uncle vibe. He's just kicking it and cooling it. And, he's just a person you want to be around. That's how old group. I got to shout out to the OLB
whole group's
group.
Like that.
The whole group, man. We all vibe. We all kick it. We all want to be, and we all want to hold each other accountable. You know what I'm saying? That's our goal. And, not only for our group, but we have, I'm probably going a little extra, but, for our group, we want to set the standard. You know what I'm saying? But for us to set that standard for all, we have to set it for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And then people see how hard we work, see how hard we communicate, see how hard we fight for each other. Now another group might take that. Okay, now we need to get that. But we're all going to get this collectively because we all one unit. But for right now, you have to control yourself. You know what I'm saying? Then you have to control your unit, and then you can control the unit as one. So I feel like we're doing a good job at that on this OTAs period. And when training camp comes, we're going to ramp that up a little bit.
Josh Allen with us. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on 1010XL and Jaguars.com. J.P. Shadrick with the Jaguars outside linebacker, Josh Allen. All right, so there were some comments, I think, last week that were attributed to you after one of the practices. You talked about, you had kind of lost, I forget the exact words, but you had lost your focus, maybe some intensity the last year or so. That was the feeling, I think, of the article. the numbers had been down a little bit. You were trying to regain that focus in the offseason. Is that close to? Is that accurate? And do you think you found the right track to get back to your rookie form? Let's say.
Man, I think just.
And why did you? Why do you think you lost some of that over the last year or two? Or did you? Okay.
I mean,
everything that went on.
Yeah.
Got
you
it.
know what I'm saying? I don't want to really make no excuses, but as much stuff that went wrong last year, man, I feel like we can also gain from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, your failures, you fail so many times, you keep working at it, they're going to become your successes and your, things that you could take from that in life. So, I learned a lot from that year. I learned a lot from last year, and that carried me on to working as hard as I can and experiencing different things this all season and doing different things and being around certain different people. You know what I mean? I feel like that kind of, pushed me to really get to where I need to be as a professional and just as a teammate for not just for myself, but for all. And, for me, man, I just have to, for me, what gets me going is to stay committed. You know what I mean? Like, have a goal, stay committed to that goal, and hold yourself. Like, I got to hold myself accountable. You know what I'm saying? If I tell myself that I want to be great, you know what I'm saying? I want to achieve what I want to achieve this year, I have to do literally every single thing, you know what I'm saying, that I need to do, and that takes hard work every day, you know what I'm saying? But that's a commitment that I made for myself. And that's a commitment I'm going to, give to my teammates, and hopefully they can carry that with them as well.
Final couple of minutes with you, Josh. Thanks for the time today. We appreciate this. So you went to the Von Miller Pass Rush Academy camp thing a couple of weeks ago out in Las Vegas. Take us through that weekend. Was that your first time to go to it? And what do you get out of it as a pass rusher? And take us through Vegas.
Man, that was a great experience. That was my first time at the summit, and that was my first time in Vegas. So it's two things I had to get adjusted to. But just the camp, man. The camp was it was so awesome for me because, like I said, I'm at that stage where I'm trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And I think I think I'm on the right path. And so being out there to hear everything that I heard was on the right track to where I want to be. And so it was great to get more knowledge and to really, evaluate my game and to really dissect my game, study myself and see what type of player I really am. You know what I'm saying? And then chase after that and then grow after that. You know what I'm saying? So they really, like, as much stuff that they were teaching me about what they did and how they had successes, I had to figure out how can I take this and adapt it to myself and my scheme and my defense. And so that was the part that I really, went down there for. And plus, how did they take care of their body? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did they play at an all-time level every week? You know what I'm saying? And just being around guys like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, holding yourself to a higher standard, having those guys hold myself to a higher standard, that was the craziest thing because they're seeing greatness in me that I know I see, but I haven't seen it yet. But they can see it. So that was a really humbling and cool experience that I had to, could take with me. And plus, I could take a lot of stuff back that I got from there, and I can bring it back here.
Bring it back in this room.
And so far, the little things, you know what I'm saying, the work ethic, you know what I'm saying, that we have is phenomenal. And if we be able to keep this up, like I said, we have to be committed. Can't be interested. You got to be committed to really want to achieve everything you want to achieve, and that's how you get, you know what I'm saying, what you want. And Trayvon going to break my record.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The rookie record.
He's breaking my record.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Trayvon, but I had to let people know, they keep sleeping on him about being this.
You're right.
No pass rusher, no whatever.
You guys read all that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
That dude, I read it, you know what I'm saying, because that's my partner, you know what I'm saying. So like, he's going out there and he's gonna affect the game in many different ways, and I'm excited to see that.
What's your off-season plans? What do you got coming up the next few weeks, Josh?
Man, Obviously I'm going to be working out. I got a trip to London.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Next week.
Very nice.
Next week.
Big promotional tour. That's right. I forgot about that.
Super excited about that. My wife and I get to go out there and, experience London together and really just enjoy, the beautiful city of London.
You never really get to do that when you're playing there because it's in and out. You're playing.
Exactly. So
good.
So, yeah, I'm excited about that.
It'll be fun. Hey, Josh, always good to see you. Appreciate the time, man.
Likewise.
That's Josh Allen, Jaguars outside linebacker. We're back in a moment. Jeff Lageman rejoins us after this. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Brooks Rehabilitation is looking for exceptional nurses who want to work where miracles happen. They're hiring for RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home healthcare settings. Brooks nurses serve as leaders, advocates, change agents, and care coordinators for their patients. They offer flexible schedules, career advancements, and continuing education, competitive pay, plus bonuses, shift premiums, and sign-on bonuses. Apply now at brooksrehab.org/nurse careers. Need pest control that's safe and actually works? Then look no further than Jaguars' proud partner, Kingfish Pest Control. Kingfish is family-owned and has thousands of 5-star customer reviews for good reason. Their high level of customer care and quality service is off the charts. They're the leaders in pest control technology, using the industry's latest and greatest pest application equipment and products. They'll even email a picture of the technician who'll be coming to your home. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 300s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-431-0006 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's not what I need them to do. We're going to let them do what they do best. We'll kind of mold the defense and mold the scheme around what our players can do. And we're in the process of doing that, and that's one of the things that have a great coaching staff, and they're teachers, so they're able to teach what we want to get done, and again, that's the molding part of it.
That is Mike Caldwell earlier today at the bank, the Jaguars defensive coordinator. Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. J.P. Shadrick with Jeff Lageman. Our thanks to Josh Allen for jumping on with us.
He's the best.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's first of all, he's one of my favorite players ever, just because he's a great guy. He's a good football player, and I hope he has a great year. You know, a healthy year, because if he has a healthy year, he will have a great year.
They've put a lot of pieces around him to, in theory, could open some things up for him, or do you buy that?
Well, I'm not a big fan of saying that they put pieces around him. Okay, because that means
he's about the only one left who's around here.
Well, he's not the centerpiece. I mean, he's one of the pieces. I think sometimes people if he's not Aaron Donald. If you were saying Aaron Donald, they put pieces around Aaron Donald. That's a little different. Josh still has to earn the right to say, hey, they're putting pieces around him. I think he's a fantastic football player. He's a great athlete, and I think with some of the things that he can do, he's going to give Mike Caldwell a lot of options. And it was interesting today listening to Mike talk. First of all, I think he's a great leader. And I think that Doug Pederson saw something in Mike Caldwell a long time ago. But just from me sitting back watching and having been around a lot of great leaders in the past in my career broadcasting and as a player, I think Mike's got a little something special to him. And that he's got a real calm, confident demeanor. The way he talks, it's very clear and concise, and there's no different way to interpret what he says. And he was asked the question today about what will the personality of your defense be. Do you remember what he said? We'll see.
Yeah, they're not there yet.
Because that's real. You can't sit there and you can say, hey, look, we're going to operate on some of the fundamentals. We're going to be hardworking. We're going to play fast. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But to answer that involved of a question about what the personality of your defense is going to be, that's to be determined. You know, the guys that are playing they're going to make that decision.
Well, you can say all you want. Oh, we want to be tough against the run and sack the quarterback and take the ball away. And all that's great, but if you don't do those things, then
there's different personalities that can accomplish the same end result. So I thought that was very interesting to hear him speak very honestly. But in reality, that's what the players need to hear, because it's not about, well, we're just going to magically and we're going to be this, okay? No, it's what you earn. And he used that term a lot about guys earning roles and earning the right. And that's impressive to me, because that's the way it is. That's the reality of professional football. And you're not saying, oh, well, we're going to, do this, and this guy's going to be this. Well, wait a minute. All the roles and the play time, it's to be determined. It's what you earn. And I think he does a great job. And I think Doug Pederson does a great job with the messaging to their team and making sure that they are very aware that things need to be earned.
There was a lot of conversation today also about the green dot, which is on the back of the helmet. It signifies who has the coach-to-player communication device in their helmet. Well, there's a few different guys they feel like can do that, and it may not be just one guy with the different packages they might have in mind. They could rotate it depending on the play, depending on the situation. You know, in theory, ideally, and he said this today, Mike Caldwell did, you'd love to have a three-down linebacker who's out there, he's your guy. Paul Posluszny, right? That's your guy. In reality,
Lageman is probably the likeliest candidate right now because he also talked extensively about him a little bit and about some of the traits that he had heard that he had. And then when he digested the film on him, he said you could see the tangible skills that he had, and he felt very strongly about putting him in front of the huddle. The guy you want to put in front of the huddle is going to be one wearing a green dot. So if Lageman is going to be a three-down linebacker, a good chance he's going to have that green dot.
Muma has been talked about in the post-draft process as the ability to do that at some point. Rookie, though. Same with Devin Lloyd. So you might have to work through some things there. But
that's a lot to ask of a rookie.
That's what he said today, too.
A lot to ask of a rookie. I just remember going back to my rookie year when I was playing an outside linebacker in a 3-4, because that's what I came into the league playing. My head was spinning. Coverages, rushing, adjustments, and it was a lot to take in. Not that it was hard. I like to kind of be nice, and I want to say that I didn't exactly have a great coach. I can tell you that. There's a story to that. But anyway, head is spinning, and I wouldn't have felt confident wearing a green dot my rookie year. No way. No, I mean, it's so much. I mean, it's a different game. The calls, the language is different, and then the speed and the changing of the game. That's a lot. That's too much to ask of a rookie. Now, look, there's guys that I'm sure that can handle it. I can tell you the one thing, though, that I was not one that could have handled it.
Enjoyed talking to Shea Townsend today as well. Longtime Steeler, of course. Alabama guy.
Yeah, good player.
Helps, but he's got a good group to work with at cornerback. He's the cornerback coach for the Jaguars, the passing game coordinator on defense as well. So he'll have his hands full, and they're working through to kind of figure out who are the options at the nickel spot, and that's a position he played, so it's close to his heart. He was a nickel for a long time in the NFL, so he knows what this thing is supposed to look like.
Yeah, I think his career began in 1998. Pittsburgh Steelers played, I think, 98 through 2005 with Pittsburgh. Good player. He's coaching the cornerbacks, and then you have Cody Grimm coaching the safeties, and Cody Grimm has a Hall of Fame father, Russ Grimm, who was a member of the Washington Redskins, the Hogs. Mm-hmm. And I grew up watching those guys. And his dad was a marvelous player now. I mean, a marvelous football player. And was talking to him a little bit about that because, I grew up, watching his dad and had great respect for him. In fact, actually played against his dad for a couple years and was a 2010 induction in the Hall of Fame. But Cody Grimm was a draft pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was with Tampa last year. So a good opportunity, and obviously worked with Mike in Tampa. But good opportunity for him here as the safeties coach, and I think he's excited. He had some glowing things to say about some of the guys that he's going to be working with.
And then I had a chance to sit down a little longer with Brinson Buckner today. We've had him on our air before.
He's great.
And that you want to talk about a conversation.
Yeah, he's great.
It's fantastic.
I like his practice get-ups. Because, coaches always have a style. And the style always comes from what you get in the equipment room.
Correct.
Okay, but Brinson's he gets the old knee-high socks going with the big baggy shorts. I mean, it's a good look.
Defensive line coach, if there ever was one.
Yeah.
Yes, and
he's got a lot of personality. And he's fun. He's fun to talk to.
Good football player too.
He was a great football player.
Absolutely.
When he was in Carolina, they had what I thought was the best defensive line in football for a period of time in Carolina.
It was the early 2000s, right? I mean, that was like
that's right.
With the Super Bowl in 03, right? 03 season?
Yeah, I think it was.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
They had the group that they had, it was a really good group.
So we'll hear from a lot of these guys again tomorrow on the official Jaguars Podcast Network on the Jaguars Broadcast Weekend Review.
Ding, ding.
How about that? So
can we get a little ching-ching?
Yes, it's on
JP
Jaguars.com.
Himself there?
On the podcast link at the top of the homepage.
Just search JP Shadrick.
No, just search
Jaguars fans,
Weekend
here's
Review.
a great way to pay with pride wherever you go.
And that's going to be coming up tomorrow in the afternoon.
All right.
So it was a good visit with a lot of those guys today.
Yeah.
We've got business to attend to when we come back. If you're watching us on Jaguars.com, you'll take a live look at the construction outside. There's metal going up. We're going to go around the National Football League as well.
We're going to talk about Kazoo. Remember from the Flintstones? And when around the league, there's a story that involves Kazoo from the Flintstones.
I can't wait
Did
for
you
this.
watch the Flintstones? Were you born yet?
I remember the vitamins. Remember those? Yeah.
The cartoon.
I
Did you ever watch?
I know it's a cartoon.
Did
yes,
you watch
I've seen it. Yes.
Okay.
Barney Rubble and all those guys, right?
All right, just making sure. Because JP, you're kind of young enough. You might know the pink Barney or the Barney.
The other Barney.
The other Barney.
No, I'm not that young.
Okay.
No. We're back in a moment. It is Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Brooks Rehabilitation is looking for exceptional nurses who want to work where miracles happen. They're hiring for RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home healthcare settings. Brooks nurses serve as leaders, advocates, change agents, and care coordinators for their patients. They offer flexible schedules, career advancements, and continuing education, competitive pay, plus bonuses, shift premiums, and sign-on bonuses. Apply now at brooksrehab.org/nursecareers.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie here to tell you where to find the most authentic Southern Pit barbecue in all of Jacksonville. That's right, Bono's. For 72 years, Bono's has been smoking real pit barbecue right here on the First Coast. Smoked for hours, served in minutes, and always cut to order. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at TIAA Bank Field. Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 300s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-431-0006 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Jaguars Happy Hour continues on a Thursday afternoon. If you're watching on Jaguars.com or Jags social media, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, it's a live look at the Football Performance Center. Walls have gone up. There's now metal going up as well.
I saw that when I was walking in. Yeah, multiple story steel construction, and then also a big overhang, which looks like it's going to be an overhanging roof on the front of the building now.
I like it. So they're moving along, and just moments ago, a media advisory that the Jaguars will announce the naming rights partner for the Sports Performance Center coming up on Monday, a little after 1 o'clock. The team did not announce what the naming rights partner is or who it is yet, but we'll find out Monday. So check that out.
You know, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you're going to be there to help make the announcement.
I am going to be there to help make the announcement.
So you know.
I don't know what
you could tell everybody right now.
I just work here, man. I just work here.
Well, people come to the show to get information. JP, give it to them.
Well, I'm just told them there's a thing on Monday. You can come back. It's called teasing ahead.
Oh.
You can probably watch it on Jaguars social media.
Well, I'd rather have that information released, on our show right here. That'd be better for us, right?
Well, it's good for you.
No, it'd be better for our ratings.
Well, at some point we'll have the live announcement on our air, another show, but not tonight.
Chicken.
What are you trying to announce something? You just called me a chicken? Is that what you said? Wow, we're name calling now. Let's go around the National Football League, shall we? Well, the Rams keep spending money. Wow. I don't know if they have like a Swiss bank account. Like what? How do you get all this money?
I don't know, but they found it, didn't they?
Earlier this week, Aaron Donald gets a $95 million restructure in his contract. Now an average salary of $31.6 million through 2024 for Aaron Donald. It's $40 million more than he was previously scheduled to make. $65 million guaranteed dollars over the next 2 seasons.
It's crazy money.
And it's probably not enough.
But here's the reality. He's the best defensive player in football. And that there's not even an argument, I don't think. I mean, you can say, well, T.J. Watt. Yeah, but
no,
Aaron Donald affects the game more than anybody in the National Football League.
The last play of the Super Bowl, like he's the guy who made the play. And everybody knew it was going to be him.
If not, then Jalen Ramsey would have been the GOAT.
Yes.
So Jalen Ramsey ought to donate some of his salary for the restructuring of Aaron Donald.
I know Jalen, and I don't think that's going to happen.
But that's a lot of money, and I can tell you this: the money's available. That's what the league is pulling in, and there's good for Aaron Donald. He's the best player on the defensive side of the ball. He deserves to be paid right up there with some of the best quarterbacks because he's that good.
Well, he's getting paid a quarterback salary now. That's for
sure. And I give him credit because he made a statement, said, "I'm going to stand my ground. That I may not play, I may play. We'll see how it goes." Essentially saying that I need to get paid more, and he did. And it takes courage to do that, and good for him.
Well, the best receiver in football also is getting paid, well, arguably the best receiver, Cooper Kupp. 3 years, $80 million extension for him. It's $75 million of that is guaranteed. It adds to a current deal, and he'll now get paid $110 million over the next 5 seasons, Cooper Kupp with the Rams.
Which basically makes him underpaid. I mean, it really does. I mean, if you look at some of the top, so let's say he's making $20 million a year, right? That's what it comes out to be average-wise?
Is that right?
Okay, what did Christian Kirk get?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, my point being is that Cooper Kupp's the best wide receiver in
18,
football right now. Okay, so $20 million a year, well, that's not too bad for this year, and he said he wasn't trying to reset the market. I understand that. You want to get paid, you want to get paid fairly. Okay, 4 years down the road, if he's still the best receiver in football,
well, you rip it up and try it again.
He would have to pull an Aaron Donald.
Yeah, hey, I'm out of here.
But good for him for getting the guaranteed money, and kudos to them. And I can tell you this, the Rams are going to be building that football team with mega stars and a bunch of late-round draft picks and undrafted free agents.
They better hit those late-round draft picks, that's for sure.
They better, because I can tell you.
They don't have any other ones.
They don't have any other ones. They don't have any of the other ones. And this is going to prohibit them from being an active participant in free agency. For example, people are talking about getting, they signed Allen Robinson just recently in free agency. And then there's talk about, let's bring OBJ back to L.A. to play another year. Well, how can you afford that?
I mean, they're just moving money down the road, I guess.
Well, I don't even know how you do that. I don't know
signing
if you could,
bonuses.
I don't know if you could restructure. Anyway,
somebody's gonna have to figure it out in about 5 years.
I can tell you this:
they're probably not going to be the guys that are there now.
The Rams are living in the moment.
Yes, they are. Les Snead loving it right now.
Well, if he had drafted better in the years previous, then maybe they wouldn't be in the position that they're in. But it's worked. Congratulations to them. They won a Super Bowl.
They got a ring.
Got a great coach.
Offensive lineman Laurent Duvernay-Tardif continues to pause. I think I said that right. I took French for 2 years. I still didn't get it right, I don't think.
Laurent Duvernay-Tardif.
Yeah, that. He continues to pause his football career for the medical field. Former Chiefs and Jets lineman begins a residency program at a Montreal area hospital next month. He is an unrestricted free agent. He said he's prioritizing medicine. We'll see again in September if there's a fit in the NFL. He was the first player to opt out of the 2020 season and helped aid in the fight against COVID-19. He never played for the Chiefs again. He was traded to the Jets in November of last season and played 8 games with 7 starts for the Jets. He's got a doctorate in medicine, a master's degree in surgery from McGill University in Montreal.
Yeah, he's a good football player too now. But he feels like he's got a higher calling, and good for him. Good for him.
It's great.
Let me see here. Do I want to be a doctor or do I want to be an NFL player?
Probably maybe do a little of both.
Well,
yeah.
Which one pays more? Well,
right,
let's see. The NFL pays a little bit more right now. Okay, but if I keep playing that, will my brain operate better and at a good level in the next few years to be a doctor?
Let's finish with this. Speaking of, teams are starting to ramp up offseason workouts. Of course, the mini camps are next week. The Jaguars only have a few participating, but many players will be wearing an extra piece of head protection for the first time, requiring the use next week of Guardian caps. Take us through what a Guardian cap is quickly, Love.
Well, the first one that I ever saw was Mark Kelso of the Buffalo Bills years ago during their Super Bowl era. He actually wore one on the outside of his helmet, and then there was an offensive lineman for the San Francisco 49ers that wore one. This is a padded outside cover that goes on helmets. It helps minimize the contact that the players sustain, and there's a lot of teams that will be having their players wear it throughout training camp and practices during the week. so that they can minimize the banging, the impacts of head collisions. And I think it's extremely smart that they're doing it. Some teams actually, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, had them on during minicamps for unpadded practice, so just in case you had some incidental contact.
There you have it, the news of the week in the NFL. That'll do it for our show today. Logs, good to see you. Our last show before the break is next week.
That's great.
We'll see you then.
I'm looking forward to that.
Lageman, Brent Reaver, Joe Fortunato. I'm J.P. Shadrick. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.